All right, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, we saw that ES pretty much balanced in a range, found some sellers around 96, 96.75, and then rotated down towards the previous session's close at 92.75. Now, yesterday marked a breakout to a new all-time high in the S&P, and today we're going to be watching to see if there's follow-through. And the normal expectation is that there will be follow-through, but that's really what we're going to be focused on. So we want to see the other markets continue to hold up. We want to see the S&P ideally hold above at least initial support, the 86.75 to 89 quarter area. That's basically where the market balanced most of the day yesterday before breaking to a new high. So at this point, if that breakout is going to be valid, we do want to see yesterday's balance hold. So we want to see initial support remain intact on the day time frame, and really if the market's really strong, then we shouldn't really even get a deep pullback, and we should hold above like 92 and continue heading higher. In the other markets, looking at NQ, definitely want to see that holding above at the minimum like 35.95 to 3600, but ideally it holds above like 3603 to 3605 even, and continues heading higher. Want to see it break above 36.18 to confirm the upside breakout. Similar idea in TF, where we don't really want to see a deep pullback. Want to see continuation in TF and a break above 1135. That's an area that has found some sellers in the past, and it did so yesterday and in the overnight session as well. So at this point, it's really about we've gotten this all breakout to all-time highs. Now, is it going to stick, and are we just going to continue higher, or is there going to be some balance back and forth before we, make a continuation move? So on the downside, the 86.75, 89 quarter, important support zone, and expecting buyers there on first test for at least a rotation. A break through that zone would be a red flag for buyers, but doesn't necessarily put sellers in control. We can still get buyers at the next zone, 82 to 84, and if the upsides to remain intact, that's really a key zone. And again, the expectation is that buyers will be active on first test, and that's kind of the last line in sand, short term, for buyers. You start breaking below 82, you're breaking yesterday's lows, and that would put the breakout into question, and then it would be opening the door for it to be a failed breakout. So then there could be a shift in the momentum and in control back to sellers. Now, because this whole market has been very resilient and very bullish, at every support zone along the way, you can basically expect a buy response and at least a rotational move. But right now, really the focus is mainly on initial support and 82 to 84 as the primary spots to look for long setups. On the upside, we have pre-market resistance, 95.75 to 96.75. That's based on the overnight session. That's where we found sellers, but it's just based on the overnight session, so it's not like a strong area of resistance. Above it, we have initial resistance, 99.5 to 1901.5, and just have to keep in mind that when ES is making a new all-time high, there is no really hard resistance up here. Typically the large round numbers like 1900, 1800 will get a response. So based on that, there could be some profit taking around 1900 and some rotation, but the buyers would be in control heading into it. So it's not an area that we're looking to short, but it is a good area to take profit and at least reduce your risk if you're long heading into it. But the upside does not necessarily have to stop at 1901. We could continue higher, and 1906.75 to 08.75 is an area where you could be exhausting the range short term, especially if the volume continues to be somewhat light or below average. Then you could be exhausting the range, but you just have to keep in mind that there is no hard resistance up here. These are just areas where the range could be exhausted on the day time frame, so it's a good spot to take profit. But if you want to short the market, at those higher prices, then you only want to do it if you see a setup in real time. If you get a setup on a smaller time frame where you can enter with a relatively tight stop and look for a rotational type move, then a short setup at those upper resistance zones could still work out because there probably will be some profit taking as we head higher. But as far as all out failure or a big short trade, at those resistance zones above is a risky proposition because there is really no hard resistance up there. Aside from that, if you do want to look for sell spots, ideally to take profit again on your longs, the other way to do it is to time it based on the other markets, hitting a resistance area. So, if you're watching like NQ and TF, then as NQ pushes into a resistance zone, then ES could also offer some rotational trades, or at least a rotation in the market. So above 36.18 in NQ, we have resistance around 36.28 to 36.33, and then 36.41 to 43, and then would be going back up towards the 36.53 to 36.58. So those are some areas to keep in mind for NQ. And for TF above 35, we should be looking for a move at least up towards 1141, 1142, and then above that we have some better resistance around the 1150, 1152 area. So right now, again, buyers are in control, so the focus will be more on the buy side, and we are going to be careful on any short setups. Right now, this is a day following a breakout to all-time highs, so the expectation is to get some follow-through and get some continuation up towards 99.5 to 01.5. That is the primary target on the day time frame. So off the open, we could still get a little bit of balance, but eventually the idea is to look for a move higher across all the markets. So those are the main thoughts. Let's see how well the buyers are able to maintain it off the open, and we'll take it from there.